and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Thursday, May 31st, 2018. Just want to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice. Not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here. Hope you've had a good week so far. It is the last trading day in the month of May. And so with that, let's get into today's video. If you know me, you know I always start my videos off with a look at the Russell Index. Why? Because I always want to make sure that before I put a new name forward for our watch list, that I'm putting it forward in a rising market environment. And for that, I use the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000. The Russell is my proxy for the markets overall because I deem it to be the most interest rate sensitive of the indexes. We're looking at the 5-year monthly chart. As you can see, the candle for the month of May shaping up to be bullish. We only have one day left, but so far pretty bullish in this very important area. I keep talking about this area here where price was rejected in January. February was soft, March, April, but it looks like we're getting through. So that's always a good sign. I'm going to put my drawings back on so we can see, there we go. This diagonal line that I'm always talking about. So the blue line is long-term support resistance and orange is medium, kind of ignoring those for now and zoning in on this area. The most important line on my chart is this black diagonal line. It held price in through all of 2017. And then we had this lift up and out in the latter part of the year 2017, but it sunk below in February, March, April. 3 consecutive months in a row, it was not able to close over my black diagonal, but this month it looks like it will. So with that, I'm going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 2-year weekly. Same black line, same wedge pattern here. Price showing strength on the weekly. I use this blue line as a reminder. The blue 8-day EMA is my guide. When price is up and over that blue 8-day EMA, I'm adding names to my watch list. So price is up and over the 8-day EMA on the weekly chart. And now let's switch it over to the daily as well as the daily chart. So with that, we'll be featuring a new name for our watch list. And the chart that I wanted to feature for you this morning is none other than Google, or by its new name, Alphabet. Ticker symbol GOOGL, trades on the NASDAQ exchange. Before I get into the chart, let me tell you a little bit more about Google. I'm sure a lot of us know that Google's in the technology space. It's an internet service provider, search engine, YouTube. Google is all that. You know me at Chart of the Day Cafe. It is all about the scores underneath my charts, and I will tell you that Google has a very nice high value score, along with a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 17%, a current PE of 25.06, and it does not pay a dividend. So with that, let's get into the chart. We're looking at the 5-year monthly chart for Google. The green circles are when I featured Google as my Chart of the Day Cafe pick in the past. So the first one was in I think it was June of 2015. Talked about Google here, and I'm going to add a green circle here. So we're looking at the 5-year monthly. As you can see, Google's in an uptrend. It's been consolidating for a while here. So I'm just going to add an area of support resistance right in here. And now I'm going to tuck into this area. So I'm going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 1-year weekly. And as you can see, it bounced off our orange area of support. And it looks as though it might be teeing up for a move higher here. We will see. It's all about the markets moving higher, but should the markets remain healthy, I think Google is poised to go here. So that's the weekly look. Now let's take a look at it on the daily. So I'm going to go 6-month daily. What I like to see here is a little wedge happening on Google, so I can really define my risk reward nicely. So should Google move out of this area, and as I said with Gold Corp the other day, I want to see it move into the green circle. So for me, I know everyone has their own way of doing things. I like to see a 3 and 8 cross. So I like to see the pink move over the blue and cross. So I'll be looking for that here on Google. And just as a recap for our gold corp the other day, we talked about it moving into the green circle, which it did. So that's the kind of look that I'm looking for. Let's go back to Google. So keeping an eye on Google in this area, looking for that cross of the 3 over the 8 and a move into this area. Along with our new watch list pick, I also like to take a look at the sector that it's in, and for that we're looking at XLK, which is the ETF for the technology sector. 5-year monthly chart, you can see that it's in this beautiful uptrend and has showed strength this month. So Google may have some catching up to do to catch up with this sector, which is one of the reasons why I picked it. But overall, this sector is showing lots of strength. Aside from that, I also like to spin over to equityclock.com, an amazing site to check the seasonality for my new watch list pick. And as you can see, Google Alphabet has seasonal favor at this time of year as well. Another thing I like to do is go over to, finviz.com and see if I've got Analysts Support for my new watch list pick. So if you go down to the Analyst section, you can see that Google has had an upgrade April 25th and reiterated buy recommendation. And so to quickly recap, let's go back and check the boxes. I started today's video with a look at the Russell Index, and we note that overall the Russell is in an uptrend with price currently up and over the 8-day EMA, which I use as my guide on both the daily and weekly chart. So I'm going to check that box. Having said that though, and I keep reiterating, we're in an area on the Russell where price has been rejected over the past several months, so I'm being extra cautious in this area. We looked at the sector that Google is in. The ETF XLK is in an uptrend on the 5-year chart and continues to show strength. Google is in an uptrend on the 5-year chart. It's been sort of consolidating for a while, but it looks to me in a continued strong market environment that it's in an area of support and possible price strength continuation, emphasis on possible. It's got a high value score. These are highlighted because they're absolutely critical for me. It's got the high value score I look for. It's got a great growth score with a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 17%. Does not pay a dividend, so that's not checked. It does not have that 3 and 8 EMA cross, but it's close. So that's not checked, but it does have seasonality in its favor. And also worth mentioning, Google announced an $8 billion stock buyback program in February of 2018. So that's always a good thing to know as well. It's got a current PE of 25.06 and earnings look like they are on July 23rd. Thank you for watching today's video. As a reminder, they go out every Tuesday and Thursday morning. Have a great weekend and I'll see you next Tuesday.